Bacterial cells. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Polly said, you might drop by. If you would like, I will introduce you to some of the real characters that inhabit the wonderful world of cells. I'm Claude the chloroplast. I'm a part of plant cell. My job is to turn sunlight into sugar. Isn't that a great job? Plant cells and animal cells, for that matter, are pretty sophisticated. Why don't I let you meet some of the more humble cell folks first? These humble cell folks are pretty complex in their own way. They come in many, many shapes. They live in every nook and cranny all over the world. Scientists call them bacteria. Sometimes they get a bad rap. Many people only think of bacteria as bad cells, but the truth is, most do wonderful things for the whole planet, people included. Oh, look, who is coming over? It's Simon the soil bacterium. Talk about a good fella. You know, when people talk about recycling and biodegradable, well, Simon here does the biodegrading. He takes all that organic material that falls on the ground and breaks it down into small enough pieces for plants to take in through their roots. He does a wonderful job too. It's hard to see Simon, but without him, you wouldn't be able to see all those plants everywhere. Simon has a cell wall all around him for protection, kind of like a suit of armor. Just inside of that, he has a membrane that keeps his insides inside and his outside outside. And thrown pretty much anywhere inside is his DNA, protein-making factories, energy-making devices, his digestive system, and everything else. Simon has pretty much all the same sort of stuff that plant and animal cells have, only he just throws it wherever it feels it. He is not as organized as plants and animal cells. You probably know people like Simon. You may be like Simon yourself. So, you know he gets everything done he needs to do. He just doesn't care how he looks when he is doing it. Now, look who is coming over to see what we are chatting about. It's Aishi, the E. coli. Aishi does the same sort of thing that Simon does. Only Aishi lives in animals' intestines instead of the ground. Aishi probably knows some of the E. coli that are living in you right now. Aishi also knows that bad branch of E. coli family that cause people to get sick. Aishi is not like that. After your stomach has had a chance to grind and gnaw on your latest meal, the food continues down to your intestines. That's where Aishi helps you out. He takes some of the food your body can't digest, and he digests it for you. He breaks down some of the big molecules of food into small molecules that are small enough for you to absorb. This works to both Aishi's and your advantage. You feed him and he helps you get more out of a meal. Aishi looks a lot like Simon in some ways, doesn't he? Cell wall, membrane, and then everything else just tossed anywhere. Let's see if there is anyone else around here like Simon and Aishi. We need to keep our eyes peeled for someone who has a cell wall, membrane, and who has everything else mixed together. Let's see. Oh, look over there. There is BG, the blue-green algae. I'm glad I saw him, because I forgot that there are other organisms besides bacteria that don't organize all the stuff inside them. There are also the blue-green algae like BG. Cells like Simon and Aishi and BG are called prokaryotes by the scientists. simply because they don't organize their insides. You know, BG does something that Simon and Aishi can't do. BG, the blue-green algae, can turn sunlight into sugar just like me. Only that stuff is tossed in like everything else he has on the inside. You have probably seen BG or his relatives. They like to live on top of standing water. Remember that. Bluish stuff you can't pond scum. It's okay, you didn't mean anything unkind. And there goes Susie the Cyprilium. She has those tails called flagella to help her swim around. She likes in water and eats dead plants. Well, all these bacteria and blue-green algae are pretty important in the world. Some do cause diseases, but many do such helpful things that us plants and animals couldn't live without them. Thank you for listening to me.